April 8th, the descendants of Boaz. Ruth chapter 4, verses 13 through 22. So Boaz took Ruth into his home, and she became his wife. When he slept with her, the Lord enabled her to become pregnant. She gave birth to a son. Then the women of the town said to Naomi, "Praise the Lord, who has now provided a redeemer for your family. May this child be famous in Israel. May he restore your youth and care for you in your old age. For he is the son of your daughter-in-law who loves you and has been better to you than 7 sons." Naomi took the baby and cuddled him to her breast, and she cared for him as if he were her own. The neighbor women said, "Now at last Naomi has a son again," and they named him Obed. He became the father of Jesse and the grandfather of David. This is the genealogical record of their ancestor Perez. Perez was the father of Hezron. Hezron was the father of Ram. Ram was the father of Amminadab. Amminadab was the father of Nahshon. Nahshon was the father of Salmon. Salmon was the father of Boaz. Boaz was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jesse. Jesse was the father of David. From Judah's grandson, Hezron, to David. 1 Chronicles chapter 2, verses 9 through 17. The sons of Hezron were Jerahmeel, Ram, and Caleb. Ram was the father of Amminadab. Amminadab was the father of Nahshon, a leader of Judah. Nahshon was the father of Salmon. Salmon was the father of Boaz. Boaz was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jesse. Jesse's first son was Eliab. His second was Amminadab. His third was Shemiah. His fourth was Nathanael. His fifth was Radai. His sixth was Ozem, and his seventh was David. Their sisters were named Zeruiah and Abigail. Zeruiah had 3 sons named Abishai, Joab, and Asahel. Abigail married a man named Jether, an Ishmaelite, and they had a son named Amasa. Descendants of Hezron's son Caleb. 1 Chronicles chapter 2, verse 18 through 24. Hezron's son Caleb had sons from his wife Azubah and from Jerioth. Her sons were named Jesher, Shobab, and Arden. After Azubah died, Caleb married Ephrathah, and they had a son named Hur. Hur was the father of Uri. Uri was the father of Bezalel. When Hezron was 60 years old, he married Gilead's sister, the daughter of Machir. They had a son named Segub. Segub was the father of Jair, who ruled 23 towns in the land of Gilead. But Geshur and Aram captured the towns of Jair and also took Kenath and its 60 surrounding villages. All these were descendants of Machir, the father of Gilead. Soon after Hezron died in the town of Caleb, Ephrathah, his father Abijah gave birth to a son named Ashur, the father of Tekoa. Descendants of Hezron's son Jerahmeel. 1 Chronicles chapter 2, verses 25 through 41. The sons of Jerahmeel, the oldest son of Hezron, were Ram, the firstborn, Bunah, Oren, Azim, and Ahijah. Jerahmeel had a second wife named Adarah. She was the mother of Onam. The sons of Ram, the oldest son of Jerahmeel, were Maaz, Jamin, and Eker. The sons of Onam was Shammai and Jada. The sons of Shammai were Nadab and Abizer. The sons of Abizer was his wife Abihail, were Abin and Molid. The sons of Nadab were Seled and Apim. Salih died without children, but Apaim had a son named Ishi. The son of Ishi was Shishan. Shishan had a descendant named Ahalai. The sons of Jada, Shammai's brother, were Jether and Jonathan. Jether died without children, but Jonathan had two sons named Peleth and Zaza. These were all descendants of Jeremiel. Shishan had no sons, though he did have daughters. He had an Egyptian servant named Jahar. Shishan gave one of his daughters to be the wife of Jahar, and they had a son named Attai. Attai was the father of Nathan. Nathan was the father of Zabad. Zabad was the father of Obed. Zabad was the father of Ephalol. Ephalol was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jehu. Jehu was the father of Azariah. Azariah was the father of Helez. Helez was the father of Elisah. Elisah was the father of Sismai. Sismai was the father of Shallum. Shallum was the father of Jechamiah. Jechamiah was the father of Elishama. Descendants of Hezron's son Caleb. 1 Chronicles chapter 2, verses 42 through 50a. The descendants of Caleb, the brother of Jeremiel, included Nisha, the firstborn, who became the father of Ziph. Caleb's son also included the sons of Mirishah, the father of Hebron. The sons of Hebron were Korah, Tapua, Recham, and Shema. Shema was the father of Raham. Raham was the father of Jorkim. Recham was the father of Shammai. The son of Shammai was Maon. Maon was the father of Beth-zur. Caleb's concubine, Ephah, gave birth to Haran, Moza, and Gazez. Haran was the father of Gazez. The sons of Jahdai were Regem, Jotham, Geshem, Pilet, Ephah, and Shaph. Another of Caleb's concubines, Maacah, gave birth to Sheber and Tirhana. She also gave birth to Shaph, the father of Madmannah, and Sheba, the father of Machbenah and Gibeah. Caleb also had a daughter named Aksah. These were all the descendants of Caleb. Descendants of Caleb's son Hur. 1 Chronicles chapter 2, verse 50b through 55. The sons of Hur, the oldest son of Caleb's wife, Ephrathah, were Shobal, the founder of Kiriath Jearim, Salma, the founder of Bethlehem, and Hariph, the founder of Beth-Gader. The descendants of Shobal, the founder of Kiriath Jearim, were Heroi, half the Manahathites, and families of Kiriath Jearim, the Ithrites, Puthites, Shumathites, and Mishrites, from whom came the people of Zorah and Eshtaol. The descendants of Salma were the people of Bethlehem, the Netophathites, Atroth, Beth-Joab, and the other half of the Manathathites, the Zorites, and the families of scribes living at Jabez, the Tirathites, Shimeathites, and Sukathites. All these were Kenites who descended from Hamath, the family of the father of the family of Rechab. Other descendants of Judah. 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verses 1 through 20. The descendants of Judah were Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, and Shobal. Shobal's son Rai was the father of Jahath. Jahath was the father of Ahumai and Lahad. These were the families of the Zorathites. The descendants of Etam were Jezreel, Ushma, Idbash, their sister Hazelploni, Penuel, the father of Gedor, and Ezer, the father of Husha. These were the descendants of Hur, the firstborn of Ephrathah, the ancestor of Bethlehem. Asher, the father of Tekoa, had two wives named Helah and Nara. Nara gave birth to Ahuzam, Hefer, Temeni, and Hashtarah. Helah gave birth to Zereth, Izhar, Ethnan, and Koz, who became the ancestor of Anub, Zobabah, and all the families of Aharhel, son of Harum. There was a man named Jabez who was more honorable than any of his brothers. His mother named him Jabez because his birth had been so painful. He was the one who prayed to the God of Israel, "Oh, that you would bless me and expand my territory. Please be with me in all that I do and keep me from trouble and pain." And God granted him his request. Caleb, the brother of Shushah, was the father of Mahir. Mahir was the father of Eshton. Eshton was the father of Beth-rapha, Paseah, and Tehina. Tehina was the father of Ir-Nahash. These were the descendants of Rechah. The sons of Kenaz were Othniel and Sariah. Othniel's sons were Hatath and Menoathai. Menoathai was the father of Ophrah. Sariah was the father of Joab, the founder of the Valley of Craftsmen, so called because they were craftsmen. The sons of Caleb, son of Jephunneh, were Iru, Elah, and Nam. The sons of Elah and Kenaz. The sons of Jehalelel were Ziph, Ziphah, Tariah, and Azareel. The sons of Ezra were Jetha, Mered, Epher, and Jalon. One of Mered's wives became the mother of Miriam, Shammai, and Ishma, the father of Eshtemoa. He married a woman from Judah, who became the mother of Jared, the father of Gedor, Heber, the father of Soko, and Jukathiel, the father of Zanoah. Mered also married Bithiah, a daughter of Pharaoh, and she bore him children. Hodiah's wife was the sister of Naham. One of her sons was the father of Keilah the Garmite, and another was the father of Eshtemoa the Maacathite. The sons of Shimon were Amnon, Rena, Ben-Hanan, and Tilon. The descendants of Ishi were Zoheth and Ben-Zoheth. Descendants of Judah's son Shelah. 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verses 21 through 23. Shelah was one of Judah's sons. The descendants of Shelah were the father of Leka, Lada, the father of Merishah, the families of linen workers of Beth-Ashbeh, Jocham, the men of Kozeba, and Joash and Seraph, who ruled over Moab, and Jashubileam. These names all came from ancient records. They were the pottery makers who lived in Nataim and Gedera. They lived there and worked for the king. Elkanah and his family. 1 Samuel chapter 1, verses 1 through 8. Samuel was born late in the Judges period. There was a man named Elkanah who lived in Ramah in the region of Zuph, in the hill country of Ephraim. He was the son of Jeraham, son of Elihu, son of Tohu, son of Zuph of Ephraim. Elkanah had two wives, Hannah and Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah did not. Each year, Elkanah would travel to Shiloh to worship and sacrifice to the Lord of heaven's armies at the tabernacle. The priests of the Lord at that time were the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas. On the days Elkanah presented his sacrifice, he would give portions of the meat to Peninnah and each of her children. And though he loved Hannah, he would give her only one choice portion, because the Lord had given her no children. So Peninnah would taunt Hannah and make fun of her, because the Lord had kept her from having children. Year after year, it was the same. Peninnah would taunt Hannah as they went to the tabernacle. Each year, Hannah would be reduced to tears and would not even eat. "Why are you crying, Hannah?" Elkanah would ask. "Why aren't you eating? Why be downhearted just because you have no children? You have me. Isn't that better than having 10 sons? May the Lord add a blessing to the reading and to the hearing of his holy word. The Forgiven Women's Group meets every month on the second and fourth Saturdays from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. For the month of April, we will meet on Saturday, April 12th and Saturday, April 26th. If you live in Oklahoma, near or around Bixby and the surrounding area, or if you're visiting Oklahoma in the Bixby or surrounding area, please join us. I hope to see you there.